What's happening, everybody? Sorry, I was pushing all kinds of crazy buttons. I done forgot how to do this. It's been a while. Um, so yeah, so this is locked in. It's a little different than what it used to be. We're not doing just one-on-one interviews. We're gonna open it up for event recaps and a bunch of other stuff. So without further ado, I'm gonna pop some guests in. Amazon John. So
Yes.
you muted. There you go, big dog. Amazon John, what's happening, man?
What up? All good, all good.
Yeah. So s- we gonna this is a Street West Coast 45 recap. This was your first fight with us, so that's one of the things we're gonna talk about. But before we get into that, uh, let everybody know who you are.
So Amazon John just made my debut. From Inglewood, California. I fight at a Sweet Science and Hawthorne
Hmm.
and Coast Fitness. Right now, my trainer, he's gonna come out right now, Junior. He's also
Hmm.
my brother, but he's been a big motivator or just, keeping me motivated and kind of like got me into training consistently. I mean, I've been off and on, but really when we got this fight, it was just all in.
Yeah. What kind of training have you started off with? Do you tend to do um, so you boxed to this event? If any. And you know what? Let's just get this out of the way. If anybody doesn't know, this is Daniel Castillo's brother. And everybody knows Daniel. He's from Heart in the Fight. He owns Heart in the Fight. He's basically our ESPN over here at Street Beefs. So this is his brother. And
You
like
know,
it,
no,
go
we
ahead.
always say he's the Dana White of street beefs.
Yeah, he's mad dope. And speaking of which, the rest of the family is mad dope too. Like we all know Daniel, we all love Daniel, but the more I get to know his brothers, the more I love his brothers, man. They're such cool people. And again, this is one of them right here. You're the what age are you in the
Yeah,
in the
so
mix?
I'm the youngest, so
The youngest. Okay.
it's a total of six of us. Six of us. Three brothers, two sisters. I'm the
Hmm.
youngest, 26 years old.
Yeah. All same parents.
Uh
A little mix of the match. Because I'm the oldest of five, and we got a bunch of different shit going on there. So I
yeah,
feel
yeah.
you. I feel you. Yeah.
Same mom, Some of us got
Mhm.
same dads, but a lot of us
Yeah.
don't. I don't. I got my
Okay.
own dad.
You got your own dad. Does Daniel have his own dad?
Nah,
Oh.
him and my older brother, Chris, they got the same dad. So we're all, my mom's Puerto Rican, so
Mhm.
that's why we kind of like don't look alike, you know. So
Yeah.
my two other brothers are Samoan. My second oldest, he's Peruvian, Puerto Rican. So Samoan, Puerto Rican, Peruvian, Puerto Rican, and then I'm Mexican, Puerto Rican.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. Dope. Yeah. So, yeah, like when it's just a big ass mix of kids. Like, so what's the age? Oh, you know what? Your brother's in here right now. I'm gonna throw him in here. This is Junior. This is another brother of Daniel's and Amazon John's here. Junior is Amazon John's manager and kind of trainer and all that stuff. Like he also does a lot of talking for him too. Like because I don't
Yeah,
know if you know, Amazon John gonna be real. He's real shy. Like when you get to know him, he's kind of a shy dude, but his Junior is not.
yeah. So
No,
Not even a little bit. Yeah.
we're
not
polar
even a little bit.
opposites. I just like I like the fighting aspect. I'm not the talking
Mhm.
aspect. I don't do the
Yeah.
talking.
Yeah. Now I have a question, and I've been waiting to get some inside information on this for the longest time. I gotta know. Can Daniel fight?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
he got
Okay. Okay.
hands.
You do got some hands? Okay.
Yeah, he
Okay.
got
Because we all
hands.
kind of want to know because he's been offered fights 1,000 fucking times, but he's all, nah, I'm gonna run this hard in the fight thing and I'm gonna do this. And like, I love being a part of the community, but we're gonna keep out of there. And I always want to know because he looks like he can. The first time I met him, I was like, God damn, like he's bigger than I am.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
bigger than I am for sure.
He definitely he's fast. He's been around all that stuff for many years. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
something that
Plus
for
he
sure he has a passion
he
for.
he looked like a former street dude too. Like just the way he talks, you can tell he does have that. I have no doubts he can throw some hands.
Oh,
Um
100%. Yeah.
yeah. That's dope. So obviously that's where you guys heard of Street Beefs is through Daniel, correct? What made you decide to actually? Oh no,
No,
no. Oh man, give us that story. Okay, my bad. I was assuming shit. That's on me.
no, no, no,
Mm.
no. I've always been in that background fighting scene. I've always been in boxing, MMA for many years.
Mhm.
So I have many connects and many people tell me about other stuff and other fighting clubs, and definitely he put me on the Kimbo Slice. That's 100%. But
Yeah. Oh, you
Street
did. Yeah.
Beef is something that a friend showed me. He was like, "Hey, check this out, bro. This is cool." I was like, "Oh, hell
Yeah.
yeah, man!" And eventually, the West Coast started popping, so I was like, "Okay."
Okay. Dope. Dope. So yeah, that's fucking awesome. So Amazon John, let's talk about you. Let's talk about your this first debut. Walk me through it. Walk me through how you decided to first take this event as your first fight. How it got all set up, and then the nerves, everything. Run us through up to when I talked to you about your matchup.
So yeah, so I mean, I've been in tournaments where you don't know who you're fighting, so I'm used to that. Obviously, it's always better when you know who you're gonna fight.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like sizing people up because you don't know who you
Yeah.
don't know who you're getting. So I was looking from like, oh, who's my size? You know what I mean? Or who's a little bigger than me? And I'm pretty sure everybody can tell. I was just sizing everybody up and
We could
see who,
tell. Absolutely.
yeah, see who's the competition, and like
Some big
it
dudes
wasn't a
there.
lot. It wasn't a lot of guys
Mhm.
my size because I'm like I fight 185, 180,
Yeah.
185. So I was most likely thinking that if it wasn't anybody my size, I'd probably end up fighting someone like 200. So
Hmm.
I was willing to do that. No problem there. I would have a disadvantage probably like size, but I mean I was pretty confident in my skill set.
Yeah. Okay, so rolling up here with Daniel, you guys got here. You guys actually showed up a couple hours. No, the day before. You were here Friday, so they came and chopped it up Friday while you waiting for your Airbnb to pop open. And then you saw the cage. You kind of felt everything out. I could tell the nerves was kicking that day. I could tell the nerves was in there Friday, but I also noticed they completely disappeared Saturday morning. I didn't see it. I didn't see. It didn't look like a single nerve was affecting you. Like,
Yeah,
was it there, or were you just covering that up?
yeah. So I mean, honestly, I was more worried about because Junior can tell you. I was the last week. I was pretty much had a cold. I was sick.
He was
Mhm.
sick.
So
Yeah.
I wasn't confident in my cardio because I felt like I peaked a week before.
Mhm.
So I mean I've looked over the fight a couple times. I feel like I could have done better. I had decent cardio. I did put a good pace, but I definitely feel like I could have done a lot of things better. And
Yeah.
no, no excuses. I mean, I was gonna fight regardless if I was like, you know, dying on the floor.
Mhm.
you know, I came there, so I showed up in Arizona. I'm not gonna fight.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hell
Just
Yeah.
yeah.
leave like, oh, I'm sick. I need to go
Yeah,
home.
no,
Yeah, no.
yeah, and it
Yeah.
didn't feel like that either. It felt like
But
you came prepared. Yeah.
yeah, so I was nervous about that, and then how it was gonna affect my performance. But like once I got in the arena, well, one thing
The
for
The
sure,
cage.
that's
box.
I think the cage is pretty dope. It doesn't get any more like gritty than that. Just a
Yeah.
straight a box of just it's a wooden box.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's got a lot
so
of
it,
nicknames.
so it gives that gladiator like type of vibe, which I like in that gritty vibe. So
Mhm.
it made me very excited, especially when you don't know who you're fighting. You're like, who's it gonna be? Who's gonna be? Who's gonna be?
Yeah.
And
Now, oh, go ahead.
yeah, so I mean, I was willing to fight twice. Even
Mhm.
when I did had my win, I was willing to fight twice if anybody was
I
down
wish I'd
for
have
it.
known that. I had Flow Dub waiting for an MMA match. I wish I'd have known your base was wrestling. Yeah. Hey, next time, just say something, big dog. Say something because Flo left without a fight. Yeah, he left without a fight. No, and just to everybody watching, we had what 25 people there, something like that, and we had maybe two guys that wanted to do MMA, and they were 50
Yeah,
pounds apart.
I would have been down for that. And honestly,
Yeah.
like that's my base. You know, I did a lot of high school, college wrestling. So I mean, I started doing boxing later.
Yeah.
Are you trained in Muay Thai or anything like that? Jiu-Jitsu, anything like that?
I did a little bit when I was younger. Like
Yeah.
it's been a while, but it's
Okay.
my main base right now is wrestling and boxing. So I would have to like do some like a kickboxing training, but I'm decent, I'd say, on that
Gotcha.
department.
Okay. Well, hey, just to plug this and everybody knows two things. One, he did mention that he was watching his fights. If you get first access, if you hit up Hart in a fight, it's a couple bucks. Like what is it? Like 10, 15 bucks, something like that. And he'll give you first access, so you get all the videos. You can watch all the fights from that weekend. Um, let's see here. What's the difference between the vibe between the smoke ranch and the hot box? So you guys have been to the smoke ranch, but you haven't fought there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, feel free to answer that question, my friend.
Yeah. I mean, me and Junior, we've been there for the last anniversary in August.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But we're just there, you know, for the merch and helping out the fighters, and we
Yeah.
were there. That by itself was a good big event. That was nice because we
Yeah, we were
were
there with who else? Simone Beast and Mike and
yeah, with the whole East Coast because
King.
my brother was
Oh,
hosting.
y'all was there last August then, huh?
Yeah, last
Yeah,
August.
last
Got you.
August.
Yeah, yeah. I remember that. I remember that. Yeah.
Wing
But
C.
yeah, to give that I don't know how to give that an answer. I mean, there is a little bit of a difference. The cage is different and a couple other things, but I mean, like at my house, like people can come in my house. So like people are in and out of my house hanging out and we try to provide food sometimes. I know Smoke Ranch does too. So I mean, there's a little bit of a different vibe to it, but it's hard to put into words. You know what I mean? You just
Yeah.
kind of, yeah, I don't know. I'd have to,
Yeah,
but
it was
it is different. You just kind of have to just go to both of them and see what's up.
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
I say the hot box was felt a little more warming. You know what I mean? Like housewarming.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
Okay.
Smoke Ranch
Yeah.
is
It felt like
just business.
yeah,
They
it felt
didn't
like a
get
fight in the
out.
backyard comparison to
Yeah,
Smoke Ranch has more of like a big ass, I don't know, I guess that's the backyard, but it's big.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
It's,
You
it's
definitely
it's
that's a
definitely
big
much
space
bigger.
though.
It's
Good big
definitely much
space.
bigger.
So I understand why it's a main spot for like the anniversary because it's a real
Yeah,
big spot.
absolutely. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that I could fit. I did have. Let's see. Actually, the second event I had here was in a March of 23, I think it was, and we had 42 fights or something like that.
Yeah.
And it was
Yeah.
packed. I mean, we started at
Yeah.
like 7 a.m. and we didn't get done until 6 p.m. So, like, I do not envy whatsoever the Smoke Ranch having all those big ass events. Not at all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Daniel,
it's
Junior,
about
give
like
your
10
perspective.
hours.
Okay, yeah, Junior, give your perspective on how you prepared Amazon John for his first match in the Street Beast West Coast. That's a good question.
Oh yeah, 100%. So basically just he stepped in, let me know that he wanted to fight. I let him know that if he wants to commit, it's, like I said, it's grueling, you got to commit and also show up every day. Lets me know that you take it serious.
Mhm.
And then he did. And we did 2 miles, something a little light, just every day. Some
I'm
little
sorry, did you
weight.
say a light 2 miles? That's not light to me, brother. That's a
Oh
fucking
no,
marathon.
that's
2 miles is
that's
a marathon to me, bro.
that's light, bro,
Yeah,
especially
Yeah,
in boxing.
I gotta train to train for that.
I mean,
Yeah,
especially in
no.
boxing, and especially I put
yeah,
them in like my world, my world of
Mhm.
how I was brought up in boxing, and it was just like wake
Yeah.
up boxing, you wake up, you run, you fast, you're hungry, there's nothing better than a workout when you're fucking on an empty stomach, just fucking grinding and
Mhm.
doing
Yeah.
everything that just people don't want to do,
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
and,
No, I
and
agree.
then basically, yeah, man, put them in the fire and. You saw the work. He was in shape. He came into me like what I think he was around
Bro.
195.
Yeah, I think
yeah,
everybody saw that pic. I think everybody saw that picture on there too, because there's one picture Daniel got of you looking up at you in the cage that he just dropped, and that like you look fucking massive, bro. Like so when you
Yeah,
walked in
man.
there, like and so everybody listening, he fights at 185. He came in at like I think he weighed at 186.2 or something like that.
yeah, and that was just because of it was gonna be someone that was he said
Yeah, we didn't
that 10
know.
pound allowance. You know what I mean? So it
Yeah, we
wasn't.
didn't know. Yeah.
We didn't really know like that too. I didn't know if I was gonna fight someone bigger. So it's no point of me like keeping my weight down if I'm gonna
Yeah,
fight someone bigger than me.
that makes sense. That makes sense.
There was at
But yeah,
one
you
point
look
where he
big.
could have been. Yeah, there was at one point he could have been like 175. We could have put him there too.
Oof.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
I had a
Nasty.
couple.
I'm
I had a
pretty
couple
lean
guys
already.
there. Yeah, I had a couple guys there, but let's discuss your matchup now. So if anybody doesn't know, we matched you with Picasso. Now you told me when you first got here that you had a couple, like you said, the tournament fights several years ago, like back in the day. And then like how long ago was that? I can't remember what you said.
Uh, so that was like about like a year, 2 years ago. 2 years
2
ago.
years
So
ago.
I did
Okay.
a lot of gym tournaments,
Mhm.
sparring. So it was a lot more training. But I mean, I started off boxing in California in
Mhm.
my gym now, Sweet Science Boxing. I started off when I was with my brother because that's his gym. He's been in that gym for a lot of years,
Mhm.
and he start bringing me there, and I trained there. And then I had moved because I actually just came back. It's been like a year now. I was living in New York, Bronx, so
Mhm.
I trained out there too as well. A gym called John's Boxing Gym, and that right there is different styles, but very grueling. It's
Yeah.
more of a local gym, but those are the ones you really
Okay.
want. You
The
know,
gritty ones.
the gritty
Yeah.
ones, the
Yeah.
poor gyms. The poor gyms are the ones that really like, you know, they take your
Yeah.
head off in
All the
sparring.
equipment is beat up.
Yeah, and I think I've always noticed that too, and I feel like a lot of it is the fact that they don't have so many people. Like when you have so many people in there, it's hard to give everybody that one-on-one grueling experience. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
Oh
tougher to
yeah,
do.
for
yeah,
sure.
because
Nah,
you see a
yep,
lot of
yep.
gyms are, there's sellouts. They
Mhm.
just
Like knockout fitness and jab fitness and shit, where they're kind of promoting the kickboxing fighting thing, but not really teaching anybody how to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's more of
yeah.
a cardio workout.
Hmm.
Yeah, you in the competition. I mean, just the killers, and even in New York, they got a lot of good fighters over there. I say a lot of good technical fighters. There were some
Hmm.
like tough, gritty fighters, and I learned a lot over there too. And I learned here, the Cali style. So I a
Yeah.
little bit of both, But once I came back,
Yeah.
I came back to Sweet Science, and then we're training with my brother.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's that. I'm assuming that's where you're gonna stay for the
Yeah,
foreseeable
I'm not.
future. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not moving anytime soon. So.
Okay. Dope. Yeah. So now let's talk about your matchup with Picasso. Now, like I said, he had a couple fights beforehand a few years back. Picasso was 1-0, I believe, and now I had him meet. Now, Amazon John had a large advantage. To be honest with you, he wasn't that you guys are about the same weight within like 3 or 4 pounds, something like that. But you were
Yeah.
just so much taller than he is and reach. And I asked him beforehand. I said, I was very, very blunt. I was like, he has the advantage of reach for sure, and he's taller than you. I said, it's up to you. I'll find somebody else if you want. And he says, no. And when I introduced you guys, walk me through once you knew what your opponent was like to the time you got in the ring. Like, how is that? What's that experience like for you?
Yeah, I so when I size up, they size me up too. So when I sized him up,
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
um, so yeah, I was like, okay, he's smaller than me. So my head, because I don't try to underestimate anybody,
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
matter how they
Hmm.
look. So in my head, okay, he's smaller than me, so maybe he's faster than me. That's what I was thinking, like right
Hmm.
away.
Yeah.
What are the advantage that he might have, against me? I know I got the height advantage, and I'm pretty, for a big guy, I'm pretty fast and have good cardio. So I knew
Yeah.
off the bat that that wasn't gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
But
No.
even when I rewatched the fight, or like it's not like he wasn't touching me. He has fast hands. He has good
He
reflexes.
Yeah.
was. He was.
Yeah.
You
He
guys
has
were
Yeah.
fast
cracking each
hands.
other. You guys are
You
for sure
know,
cracking each other.
it's
Yeah.
just only thing is just like I said, the size difference, and I felt like his punches weren't really cracking, so I didn't
Yeah.
feel that threat of
And
danger. So then
it's
I
funny because
felt
he
like
said the
that.
same thing.
Yeah, I
Yeah, like I
mean,
remember because I was repping that fight, and I walk over and I check on the fighters in
Nice.
between rounds, and I'm like, "Hey, Picasso, you good?" And he goes, "I don't feel anything, man. I don't feel his punches."
Yeah.
And I'm reffing it, and I'm standing beside the
Well,
punches, and I
he's
feel them.
Mexican. He got a big head like me. So
Bro, y'all was cracking each other, man. That was one of the best fights we had today for sure. Yeah. Uh, so, Junior, what's next on the docket for Amazon John here? Like, being his trainer, kind of his manager and everything. Like, what's? Oh, you know what? Before you answer that, I don't know how to say that name, my friend. So please don't be mad at me. But yeah, you want to come to the Hot Box, man? Everybody, welcome to the Hot Box. So just sign up on one of our months, and you are in. So,
Basically I mean, I want to say right now, of course, he's just chilling, but I want to get back in the gym, and honestly, I want to see him at 175. I feel like he'll be just nasty. I know he'll be fast and have advantage. Honestly,
mhm.
the work is if he puts in the work, I feel like he could put anybody out that's in front of him.
Yeah, that
Just it's
175 division is stacked, bro. I mean, it starts with Coyote. You know what I
yeah.
mean? And the skill difference, it's all right there. Coyote, Compa G, those two
Oh
guys are
yeah.
like right on par with each other. And then you got just the 170 division is just stacked. There's so many guys. Tank is in that division now, and he's an animal. So
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. Yeah.
mm,
100%. We
that's what
those
you should
guys.
do. Drop to 170 and fight Tank in August. That's what you should do for
I
the
feel like
anniversary
yeah,
event.
it's whatever he wants to do
hey,
too,
Hmm.
whatever he's comfortable with. He knows his body, he knows what he can push to, and I know he
Yeah,
can do 175, and I know he can do 185 easy, just bounce back and forth. But
yeah,
like I said, it's really up to him. When it comes to dropping the weight, he can do it. That's fast. Like he can do it really fast.
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
at like when I did peak before I got sick, I was fooling around like 180. So I mean, what's that
Yo,
5 pound
easy,
was just water.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
easy.
But
Yeah.
it's if it depends on the fight, who I'm fighting and if it's worth
Oh
the
yeah.
cut. Because I mean, if I'm gonna cut that much weight, it shouldn't be for someone that's not a challenge, someone that's
yeah.
gonna be,
And that's
No,
also
yeah,
in
like I
training.
said, a lot of those 170 guys will be a challenge. Like,
Oh
don't get
yeah.
me twisted. You're strong, you're fast, you have a very good skill set, but some of those guys, that 170 division is stacked.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%. Those guys are
Hmm.
fucking nasty, man, and we
Yeah, very.
respect them. Anybody that's in that street beef, that we respect them. And that's all
Hmm.
due respect. He believes, and I believe in my brother too, and especially because I'm his older brother, and I believe in him, and he's always been
Yeah.
around the fight business, and I've been in the fight business for a long time, but I'm 38, my body's old, and got injuries, and I like coaching. Coaching is a lot chiller than training.
Nah,
I tell you that much.
we gotta see Louisville. We gotta see Louisville out there now.
But like,
Hey, we do. I
just
do kind of want to see Junior now. I do kind of want to see Junior. Y'all
but
need to get the
also
whole family out here, bro. I know Daniel ain't fighting, but y'all need to get the whole family out here.
right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, man. But yeah, Jonathan was just a little brother, always
Mhm.
out looking in when we were always in the fight camp. I was boxing, he was a little kid, and then now I'm looking at him, he looks, older than me.
Be just bigger for sure. Like when you first walked up, I was like, okay, I got a couple
He
matchups for you in the
towers. Yeah,
in the 200
yeah.
mark. Like I
He
thought about putting
towers.
him in the 200 mark just looking at him. I was like, yep, that's where he's got. I was thinking Bigfoot. I got Sega coming. You know what I mean? And then you weighed in at 185, and I was like, well, scratch all that shit. I
And
gotta find somebody
yeah,
that
oh
that
man.
weighs the same. Yeah, but he looks huge, bro. Your
He
brother
also
looks
has
huge.
wrestling. He has that background, and he's very
Hmm.
confident in his wrestling. So I
Yeah.
know for him in MMA, he got the boxing down, he got the wrestling down, and he does jujitsu. He messes around. He knows he's
Yeah.
been in jujitsu gi and all that stuff. So he's full.
Okay.
He's confident, and I believe in him too.
Good. Good. That's dope. Yeah. I mean, do you think we'll see you in an MMA fight here anytime soon? Like
Yeah,
soon,
for
soon?
sure. Honestly, I feel like I'll have an easier time doing MMA than boxing, just
You think
because
so?
boxing is a little more. I don't have, it's a little more new. I don't have that much
Yeah.
experience. I have basically 6, 7 years of wrestling, and then I've done jujitsu and I've done jujitsu tournaments.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So I
Okay.
you know,
Because we got. I mean, we got. I don't know. We have a decent light heavyweight MMA division, but our light, like our let's see, the 180 to 190 is there's not a whole bunch of fights. But to be honest with you, I think that's mostly due to the sand being on the ground. Because if
Yeah.
anybody doesn't know, we changed from sand to mats in the past like 2 or 3 events. So, and the reason for that change is because obviously mats are always preferred, but when we first fired up, the Street Beast West Coast, we were told we have to go sand to maintain that aesthetic. You know what I mean? Like we got to have that backyard feel. Once we put mats down, it gets a little bit too professional looking, and
we got to bring
Mhm.
back the haystack days.
yeah, bro, everybody falling over those haystacks was hilarious. Yeah. We and I know Daniel loved that haystack look, or especially for the Russian ones. Like the Russians do a real
Oh
good haystack
yeah.
look.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, I like
yeah,
watching a lot of bare knuckle
yeah, hell yeah.
with the Russian guys, man.
hmm
Oh yeah. Those guys are
What's
fast.
that
They're
one?
boxing.
What's the one where they stomp each other's heads in the ground, like on the concrete? Did you ever seen that one? Like it's a straight up
Oh, that's
Russian
no, there's
Street Kings or something like that.
yeah,
Street
Yeah,
Kings.
that's England, isn't it? That's I think like
potentially. I thought it was Russia, but maybe I have no idea. I just know it's some of the most vicious, backyard fighting I've ever seen. Like he's soccer kicking people in the face. It's
yeah,
crazy.
man. They
Yeah.
fighting
Yeah.
in parking lots, man. It's
Yeah, they show up in the parking
Yeah.
lots and just cranking it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's hardcore.
Let's talk about. I know we got into a little bit of the fight itself. Oh, there we go. Daniel got it. King of the Streets. That's what it was. Yep. Also, yeah, Mike 100, BDW. Those would all be good fights for you after you get a few fights. Like those are some killers. But I mean, they have 10, 15 fights apiece. Like you definitely want to ease into that.
Oh
Um,
yeah, hell yeah.
unless you think you're ready. Like if you want to call anybody out, you can call anybody. If you get 1 or 2 fights, for the most part, since we have so few people that consistently fight all the time, like we got maybe 100 fighters that fight consistently.
And that's
And
the crazy thing too, is like the people that is in this division is like basically all the fighters that we see and we like,
Mhm.
that's like the dope part about it, you know what I mean?
yeah.
It really is pretty cool to see that.
We
Yeah.
we watched these guys for a while, so like we're fans. It's not like
Mhm.
Oh
no
no, yeah, all respect for that whole
like bad
division
blood or
Yeah.
too.
anything.
Those
You're just
guys.
fans, Sometimes you want to fight your fans.
Yeah, and that's
Fight your
that's honestly
fans.
the beauty. Yeah,
Sometimes your
that's
fan wants to
that's the
fight.
beauty of it.
I know the fans want to fight your celebrities. You know what
Yeah, and that's the beauty, kind of the beauty of Street Beast West Coast is because we have that community, but we also have like there's not a lot of malicious intent. Like you see it here and there, but it's really not a lot. It's most of the time, like you said, it's just let me fight one of my fans all the time.
Ah,
Yeah, it's,
nah,
it's
but
pretty
those guys
dope
are,
though.
and they're all dope ass people too, dude. Like outside of
hmm
all that too, when we all kick it, everyone's dope,
Yeah,
man. Like
yeah, it
all in
really
good
is.
spirits, or they're all in good spirits.
Yeah, I know we didn't do an after party at this event, but we plan on doing one at the next one for sure. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
or not the next one, but like the August one. So
oh yeah,
well,
man.
yeah, I'm
Bet.
already talking to Daniel. We'll probably find something. We'll swing something. We'll do something.
And that
But
Vegas, it gotta
yeah,
be popping.
oh yeah. Oh, he said, name your favorite Street Beast fighters. Now, don't uh don't worry about hurting people's feelings. They're not on a list. It is what it is. Like, who's somebody you watch consistently? Like, you're like, okay, that's a person I'd like to meet.
Big
Maybe
Daddy
even,
Williams for sure.
yeah.
Could always
Oh
put
yeah,
on
absolutely.
the show.
Yeah, it's a badass motherfucker right there.
Coyote, I
Two
feel like
legends.
it's everybody's favorite. Everybody's favorite.
Yeah.
El Coyote, Big Daddy Williams.
Duva.
And what's his name?
Duva.
What?
Duva sick. Duva.
Duva's an animal, bro. I
Yeah,
love
Duva
Duva, bro.
sick. Duva
Yep.
sick, man. Duva sick.
Yeah, he's huge though. He's fucking massive. Like he's
Yeah.
so big. Yeah. He's
These
such a
fights
cool
are
dude though.
exciting. Yeah, these fights are exciting.
Very, yeah, very, very exciting. Yeah. Okay, so let's jump in real quick to the actual like the fight itself. Like let's talk about round one, round two, whatever you can remember off the top right now, without watching it and trying to remember. But like, did you ever feel like you were in trouble? You ever feel like because I know there was a couple shots he got really, really close. Like he hit you, but you had some defense in there.
Yeah, so I felt like I was so first round it was mainly the plan was to establish the jab and then to get to the middle as quick as possible and kind of like
Mhm.
put that pressure on him, make him uncomfortable because I knew if because no offense, but he didn't look like he was too in shape.
Mhm.
So I knew like if he was gonna give everything is gonna be that first round. So I started off. I knew he was gonna start off quick, so I tried to be first every time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And what you said about him not looking to be like super in shape, he is. I mean, he got a little tummy to him. You know what I mean? But he's got the cardio. He handles his business. But
Yeah,
if he cut some weight and he fought because he's a little shorter, so if he fought around like 65, he'd be a beast. He'd be an
yeah, yeah.
absolute beast.
That's
Man.
for sure. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Like, man, he could just if he cut that weight, take it serious, and
Mhm.
he'll be a problem because it's he can take a shot for sure. Like I say, he got a
Oh,
Mexican head, so he can take a shot,
Yeah,
and yeah, he'll be a problem, and he has good hands. It's some
yeah,
things.
he does.
I
he
feel like
does.
he started to once round one was over, he started to be sloppy, and that's when I capitalized on that. But
Well, I don't know that it was sloppy as more that he just didn't know what to do because it was very hard to get around your jab. You know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
think that was and the only reason I say that is because I've been in that situation. I've been when you're fighting somebody and they're bringing something at you and you're just not sure what the fuck to do. So you just start making shit up. And I felt like for his second round, that's where it was. He was much more composed in his third round, it looked like.
No,
But the
yeah,
second
third
round, it was
round.
like a
Yeah.
yeah.
He took
Go
he
ahead.
took the he took those shots, and that third round he definitely was trying to put him out, at least, give him
Hmm.
that
yeah,
chance to do it. But
Yeah.
the cardio too is also a killer, man. Like if he train, like Jonathan, he trains, he runs miles, and he definitely puts in the rounds. So like
Yeah.
that's a shit's a killer right there too, man. When somebody's just swarming you.
It is. And it's hard to like it's hard sometimes it's also hard to think about, hey, I've got
Yeah,
I've got this situation happening and I need to get around it some way. It's hard to
yeah,
think. So
exactly.
you got to
Yeah,
kind of lean into your corner. And I didn't really get to hear what his corner was telling him. So I can't really speak on that, but you gotta yeah, it was a really, really good fight. And like I said, it was like Picasso's so tough, bro. He's so fucking
yeah,
tough.
yeah,
I
man.
do
I mean, I
respect
was
to him too.
yeah,
Yeah.
no respect, man. He talked to me after, it's just we're just having fun out there, it's
Mhm.
but yeah, I was like respect to him, tough guy. Told him, man, you tough.
Yeah, he is, man. He
Yeah.
is.
But it's expected, it's Mexican blood, so.
Yeah. So, do any other fights on that event stand out to you? Like if you had to compile, if you had to pick fight of the day at that event, and your fight doesn't count, you had to pick fight of the day. Who you got? Both of you.
So me, Bill Collector and Bearded King was the
That was a
obviously
See,
fucking
was
banger, wasn't it?
yeah, see,
the
I was gonna say
banger,
that, man. Damn, that was a fucking fight.
Yeah.
you know.
Like if you guys don't have first access, not you, but the anybody watching, if you don't have first access, get it. Hit Daniel up and get it. Like there's some fucking bangers. I don't think we had one fight that was not just
Yeah,
entertaining as fuck.
yeah, definitely. Everybody, put it out there, and
Mhm.
respect. Like I said, everybody that gets in there and puts the gloves on and fights, man. And respect, bro, because you seen people just fight through adversity, and they say
Mhm.
you got 3 rounds, and in those 3 rounds, you see so much stuff going on. You're like, dang, ups and downs. It's crazy.
Yeah, and speaking of downs, two of the guys that fought that weekend had just got out of jail, like within days of being there, and and one of them showed up. So one of them showed up. I'm not put everybody business on blast like
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah, yeah.
like they told us like it's not they wasn't hiding it. You know what I mean? They made posts about it and they talked about it, but so it's not like I'm spilling secrets and shit. But like I get there and one of the guys is like, "Hey, my cousin's on the way and he'd like to get a
Yeah.
fight." I go, "Has he fought before? Does he have any experience, anything?" He's like, "No, he's just tough." And I said, "Okay." And I didn't realize he was just getting out of jail. Like this, and he
Mm.
shows up, and when you look at him, you're like, "That guy just got out of jail." Bro, he was just like this big, bro, no neck,
Yeah,
just a huge
yeah.
dude. And I was like, "Fuck!" And I was like, "But actually, I got another dude. Like they're the same exact weight." within
Oh
like
yeah.
within like 2 pounds of each other. So I tossed him in there, and this dude was just an animal, bro. Like the skill set wasn't like it wasn't crisp. You can tell he doesn't train. He He'd lean it
No,
back.
yeah,
He'd
he can't.
like
Yeah,
this, you know what I mean?
the prison
Yeah,
style.
that prison, you know what I mean? Got that front hand just throwing out there. But yeah, you could tell he didn't have a skill set in the sense that he hasn't trained to fight. But goddamn, he was throwing them
Oh
things,
yeah,
boy.
yeah,
Both of
no,
them was.
yeah.
Both of them were. Yeah. And then yeah, oh, you know what? Flo Dub, the guy who didn't get a fight, he kind of got a little upset and left. His dad actually fought Prince KT. Did you guys see that fight? That was a killer fight too.
Oh yeah,
Prince
was it
KT off the couch.
was it Brown? Something Brown?
Yep, Surgeon Throwdown Brown. Yeah, which is such a
Throwdown
cool
Brown,
name.
yeah.
Yeah, he fought
Yeah.
Prince KT. That's a cold fight too. Like that was a really good fight.
No, oh man, that was a great fight. Those
Yeah.
guys, it's crazy that you say that was his dad. That part.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, it was because like you wouldn't look at him and tell like
No.
Surgeon like he's the same fucking age, man. You know?
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah. But man,
Yeah, it is. It is.
he got squabbles.
Mm-hmm. And then we had let's see, Humble Beast. Humble Beast fought, and so this is the first time meeting him. Y'all remember him? He had the yellow in his hair. He was a bigger
Yeah.
dude, and
Yeah,
he took
yeah.
two fights. He took two fights. Did y'all watch his fights?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
he was crazy.
Oh yeah, definitely. He's like I said, that's one person right there. That's a tough dude, that take any fight, and he's out there
And a
having
win.
fun too. Yeah, having fun too.
Yeah.
And like I said, like I think that's the part that when you find fun in that, that's when man, like I'm locked in.
Absolutely. Yeah, and he was like so he is Daniel said it the best. He reminds me of a more cheerful DTP, like Disturbing the Peace. Y'all know
Yeah,
DTP, right? Yeah,
yeah.
he reminds me of a more cheerful one, which is it's weird to say, but if you meet him, you'll get him. You know what I mean? Like he's just
Yeah.
a super fucking happy dude. And he got there and he was just ecstatic. He chopped it up with you guys. He bought a bunch of merch. And then he
Yeah.
gets in there and he just mauls his opponent because apparently he's a wrestler too, and he's got a solid pedigree.
Oh
But he was just
yeah.
spinning around, doing all the things. I'm sure you could see.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He also could have put more damage too, but he decided to like hold back, which is respectful too.
he
You
did.
see him holding back,
Yeah. You did, and he wanted to win, but he didn't want it to win at the expense of somebody else too bad.
Exactly.
And then
Yeah.
and then he took a fight. He took a boxing match with with Young and Lavish.
Yeah,
And everybody knows Young and Lavish. Young and Lavish is an animal too. Like
yeah.
and Humble Beast asked me about him beforehand, and I said Young and Lavish is dope, but he's the kind of guy. It's like it doesn't matter how much you punch him in the face, he's not gonna stop coming for you.
Yeah.
Like he tanks damage. Yeah. So and then those two had a good boxing match, and Humble Beast. I was on the sidelines and I remember seeing him telling Young and Lavish how good he was doing. He's like, "Oh man, it was a great punch." Blah blah blah. And I'm like, he's smiling and laughing, and I'm like, that shit would piss me the fuck off, bro. If you just
like
in there having fun at my expense, woo.
They're both kind of smiling at each other too. If you
They
see
were.
it too,
They were.
It was funny.
Yeah.
But then
It
again,
was
he
cool.
fought twice too. Young and Lavish had 2 fights that day too. So
Yeah. Yeah, he did. He did. Who else stands out to you? Who else? Who else you got?
man, what was that boxer, that one dude? He came in, Chris, man. I want to say he came in with Clutch. I'm not quite sure if that was his
Oh
boxer,
yeah, you know what? I'm looking him up right now. Servant.
but
So he fought
so
Mr. Go So Hard. Yeah, it was Servant.
all right, so there, that guy, man, he has some really good hands too, good head
He
movement.
he does.
He definitely stood out. He stood out on, Chris, like he trained and stuff. So
Yeah,
he
Mr. Go So
definitely,
Hard was he was a touch out of his league with that one. But I mean, both of them are 0-0, no fights or anything, and
yeah,
just started training. So I'm looking forward to following Servant's career. Like if he sticks with Street Beefs or if he even goes higher levels than us, then I think he's gonna do well.
man. If he just started training, then oof, yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
he
Supposedly, I
looked
mean, he's
good.
less than a year
Yeah,
of training.
he looked.
Yeah,
I mean, he looked
Talent.
good, man. He looked crisp. He looked disciplined.
he
So, like,
did. He did.
those are things that count. But then again, the
Mhm.
other guy, he wasn't really trying to punch with intent. He was just throwing jabs and popping jabs out, and
Yeah,
that's not gonna get him much done. If you wanna, especially with somebody like him, you need to go inside. You need to bring the fight to them.
yeah. But the thing that I did notice is, so Servant was with Clutch, and Mr. Go So Hard is his opponent. But Mr. Go So Hard, like if he if he had got somebody that was his same skill level, you know what I mean? That'd have been a great fight right there. But
Oh yeah,
I
no,
mean,
yeah.
yeah,
And
like
he had
he
cardio
didn't
too.
do poorly. Yeah, he didn't do poorly by any
No,
means. It's just
no, no.
he got outclassed there a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he did a great job because he was in mixing it in with them. But
Uh-huh.
he if he would have really threw that right hand, because he had a lot of chances where he could have just tagged them, and just I
Yeah.
guess it's just the way that the guy was cutting off the ring, made him uncomfortable.
Yeah. Also, I noticed every time he did throw something, he got tagged again. And
Yeah,
I
see,
think
that plays a
that'd make you
part.
hesitant to throw.
That
That make
that
you
that
hesitant to
plays
throw.
that plays a part.
Yeah. So yeah, let me see who else we got. I know we had a couple other. See, Zetro versus Royalty was good. Deploy versus Super Gremlin. Let's talk about Bigfoot versus Sega for a minute. Like,
Man.
whoo. Now I'm gonna be honest. We almost matched you up with Bigfoot because I didn't before I knew Sega was coming. That's pretty much all I had for you at the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
looking at and then you ended up being with Picasso and Bigfoot matched up with Sega, and that was just bro. They both came out just swinging. I mean, you can feel the shots around the cage. What y'all think
man,
about that?
yeah, no, yeah. Those punches were very thudding.
Mm-hmm.
Sega came in like with some real aggression, where Bigfoot kind of like weighed that little first round out,
Mm-hmm.
and then those last two rounds, I feel like man, Bigfoot was just
Yeah, he stopped him in the second, didn't he?
just
Or was
laying
it
him
third?
out. I think he
Yeah,
dropped him like twice,
yeah, yeah. He
Yeah.
three
did. He did. Yeah,
times. Could be like
there
twice, three
was.
times. I don't know. They were going. They were,
Yeah,
they
like
were throwing some
but
leather.
like Sega,
Yeah.
I feel like Sega could have probably dropped Bigfoot too. It's just
Mhm.
like I feel like he has because he's physically strong and fit, but it's just his
Mhm.
foot. I noticed his foot. He's like shuffling. I feel like he needs a little more boxing because he does it more mainly
Like it
MMA,
was.
right? MMA.
Uh, yeah, yeah. I believe so. I believe so. I'd have to double check, but I
So if
believe
he
so.
just had like a
Yeah.
little better stance and more like stability, I feel like he could have really
Mhm.
sit on some punches. It just It's just I feel like he can do a lot better if he like
Mhm.
trains boxing strictly.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah. I can see
much
that.
respect to him, man. Like he got up, he got knocked out a lot, and he kept getting back up, and he didn't quit until you had to stop it. So
Yeah, I want to say Samke was in there, or was I in there? I can't remember.
uh,
I don't remember. I at this point I've ref so many fights for so many years. I don't remember who I've ref until I go back and see it. Like I'll be surprised sometimes watching a fight. I'm like, oh shit, I'm right there. But
No, yeah.
yeah, Scorpio and Sam K just said he was, so he was repping it. Um, yeah, Scorpio and Doughboy or McPeak. He's going by McPeak now. So how'd you guys feel about that one? Because I thought that was a pretty solid banger. Like, and I was
It's
very proud
base.
of Scorpio,
Yeah, basically, was it like standing in front of your face and just punching each other type of
bro.
fight?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
uh,
I mean,
Like
I'll
there was
tell you this
busted
much.
noses.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. They both like getting punched because
Mhm.
nobody was moving their head. They were
yeah,
just
No, it was
no
not a drop
defense,
ahead.
all offense, nothing but
Yeah.
offense.
yeah, they were just giving it to each other, man.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Daniel said Sega was square in his feet, which left him vulnerable to counters and falling off balance. Yeah. And have y'all noticed Daniel got hella insight though? Like when it comes to fighting, like he sees a lot of
Uh,
shit. Like
Oh
he's very
yeah,
insightful.
Daniel's
yeah.
experience, man. He's just, he has kids. He's a little older.
He's just uh-oh. Daniel finna come out of retirement. All that shit talking. Yep.
I mean,
Oh yeah.
he's a humble one. He don't want to put nobody in the ground right now. He's
He is.
humble.
He is. He's very humble. Like I said, as soon as I met him, I'm like, I really think this dude can fight. I really think he can. But
Oh yeah.
you'll never hear him say it though. You'll never hear him say
Oh
it.
yeah. No, no,
Yeah.
yeah. He got squabbles, man. I'm telling you, dude. Like he got me into fighting, So,
Yeah. Yeah.
you
So
know,
did y'all ever fight when y'all were kids? Like, did you and Daniel ever get into it? Like, really get into it?
That
Daniel, no, yeah, no, not with
that's a
Okay.
Daniel.
question
I
for
was
you and
more,
Junior because you guys are. I'm a big age gap, so then
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. That's what I figured.
you know what I mean. I didn't grow up in the same high school as them and
Mhm.
everything, so he can answer that for you.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I would say my fights were with Chris. I don't know if you've seen him. He's just a big monster.
who's the one that owns the weed company?
Yeah, that's my brother
That's him.
Chris.
Okay, so yeah,
Yeah,
I did meet him. Yeah, he had the
you
weed,
know.
the wraps company or something like that.
Yeah,
Bro,
yes.
when I tell you he was rolling some fucking killer blunts, bro. I was like, I'll watch him roll a blunt and like a
Yeah.
tear will come out of my eye. I'm like, I can't handle another one, bro. But he be passing that shit over.
Oh yeah, pixie dust, baby. Get that shit.
Yeah,
Order that
yeah.
shit. Buy
Oh,
that shit.
that's the name of his company. Plug that shit. That's
Yeah,
the name of his company.
Yep.
Plug
for
it real
real.
quick.
Yep, yep.
Yeah,
Pixie dust.
yeah.
But
Nope.
also no, yeah, just Chris, man, he was really tough on me for sure.
Hmm.
Somebody that if I got in a fight in the streets and I lost, he'd be like, nah, you gotta run that back. That guy. Or I remember he even made me fight my friends. He just
So
be that guy,
hopping
bro.
in the cage with one of the fans ain't no big deal after that.
Yeah,
When you
you know what I
scrapping
mean?
with the
Exactly. Yeah.
homies all the time.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I was like.
Yeah.
Growing up with him, he definitely was a tough dude. But as
Yeah.
we get older, that just made us more closer. But he also said
Hmm.
too, like, hey man, but like that put you onto fighting, that put you into boxing, and that's just been, that's been my passion, my love for since I was a kid, just
Yeah.
combat. And I believe in that, put the guns down and put the gloves up because that,
Yeah.
like I said, those are things that are missed.
Absolutely. So, do you have fights? Have you competed before, like in the cage or the ring?
Definitely I have some amateur fights.
Hmm.
Never went pro, but man, many fights in the streets, many fights in the yard,
Yeah.
many fights in school, growing up in Inglewood, you know,
Yeah, because a lot of kids don't understand right now. A lot of kids don't understand is like before the internet. That's just kind of what we did. Like you just showed up and
oh,
you would just see kids walking down the street. And you for whatever reason you're like, I want to fight that kid, and you could just
oh
get in a
yeah,
fight,
man,
and
it's
then
just
that was
that
that. You
look,
could mostly out of
yeah.
boredom. Out of boredom.
That look,
Yeah,
yeah, that
just bored
look.
as
They'd be
fuck.
like, "Hey, what's up? What you
Yeah.
looking at?" I'm like, "Oh shit, now we're fighting.
Oh
That's
yeah.
crazy."
Yeah. Daniel said you brought your son to the event, and bro,
Oh yeah, yeah,
we're sitting
exactly.
there, and Junior's talking about his son. He's like, "Yeah, my oldest son this, my oldest son that," and he goes, "Oh yeah, he's right here," and he's like sitting beside him the whole time. And I didn't like, yeah, it was a really funny moment.
That's like I said, that's something that my son's always
Mhm.
seen me too. He's always seen me around a gym.
Yeah,
I've always boxed. And if it wasn't at Rogers Park Gym, I was boxing at where I did MMA at SoCal MMA in Highland
hmm,
Park. And I remember I moved around to Inglewood. I went back to the wood and went to Team Victory, did boxing there, where I met Bobby Green. And like those are people that like, when
yeah. I
when
met
he
Bobby
signed to
Green one
the
time.
he signed to the UFC, like that was around those days,
Hmm.
yeah, and mind you, I went to those gyms around 2006, so that's like the peak of like the UFC times. I remember, everybody
Hmm.
wanted to be in a mixed martial arts gym.
Yeah,
If
absolutely.
you
And
you
MMA is so crazy in itself. Like speaking of
yeah.
Bobby Green, like when he fought Jim Miller a few months back. Like he made one of the most prolific fighters in the UFC look like he'd never stepped in there. Like he tuned him up, and then he
Oh
turns
yeah.
around a couple months later and gets laid out. Like MMA is crazy,
Oh
man.
no,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. Yeah, and he
it's
put
so crazy.
he goes in there too, like what's like with his hands down. He
Hmm.
comes in with the
But he's
attitude,
fast enough.
because
He's fast enough. Yeah,
yeah, he comes in with the attitude because that's he's from that culture. He's not
yeah,
faking it. That's really
yeah,
him.
yeah. I met
And
him. He actually went to a Street Beefs event in Ohio, California. This I
yeah,
fought
Yeah,
what I fight? I
we were
fought
there.
Punchline.
We were there. We were
oh
What?
there, right?
yeah,
We were there in
yep,
that one.
yeah,
Were
we
you?
were
You were in
there.
Ohio when Bobby Green was there?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
We
that's dope.
interviewed.
So yeah, all right. So yeah,
Did
yeah. I don't know if I met y'all then, huh? Daniel wasn't there. Daniel wasn't there, was it?
no,
Uh,
no,
no,
he sent us.
You know what? I do vaguely remember that. I do vaguely remember that.
Yeah, we were there,
I've done
man.
a lot of drugs, man. I've done a lot of drugs. It's hard to remember a lot of shit. It's hard to remember a lot of
Nah,
shit.
that's what
Yeah,
happens when your brother just throws you in there. You don't even know what you're
yeah,
doing. You're like, I guess, yeah.
hmm, yeah. He
But
was a
no,
yeah. You know, I do vaguely remember that now. Yeah, but yeah, that was a dope event.
but yeah, my
Um,
experience is like I said, it's been there for like 15 years, almost like
mhm,
man, it's been there for a minute. Shout out to Peter Harrell, he's one of my coaches that really,
mhm.
put me in shape because, like I said, he's a really good boxer. And Sweet Science Boxing Gym, man, all those guys in there are dogs. So if you don't going in that gym, and you learn something from that gym for sure.
Yeah, Daniel just said he saw Shinigami's infamous head kick. John, how was that?
Uh,
Like you're at Street Beats West Coast 1, so you saw Shinigami's infamous head kick, and
yeah,
then yeah.
yeah.
How was that first event? Because I wasn't there. I didn't show up
Oh,
until Street Beats West Coast 3.
yeah. So it was me and my brother Chris, the big
Mhm.
one. Um, we had a friend. Yeah, we.
Hey, do y'all just call him that all the time? The big one?
He's the big
Bro,
one,
He's a
I
man.
bet
big
I bet
one.
he loves that shit. I bet he loves that shit. That's his
He's the
favorite, isn't it?
big,
He's a
yeah.
big one. He's the dude. He's the monster. He's the one we call when we need
Yeah.
things to get done.
We
So
need
Yeah,
he's the
shit.
one we
yeah,
call where he's the one
Yeah. And
that
we ain't talking about moving. We ain't talking about lifting
yeah.
couches and shit.
yeah.
Yeah, he's a big
Yeah.
boy. He's big, bro. But yeah, how,
Yeah.
how was that first Street Beefs event? Like when you saw that? Man, so you were at Street Beefs West Coast 1, and your first event you fought at was Street Beefs West Coast 45. That's dope. That's crazy.
Yeah, so at the time, I was also my experience growing up, well, I remember it was hot as fuck. Like it was
Mhm.
hot. It was in San Bernardino, and
Mhm.
it was like I think
Dino.
like
Shout out to
110
Dino.
or something like that. And it
Yeah.
was like even because we brought a fighter there because we originally got a ride. We gave a ride to a fighter that fought there, and then also and then that's when we did when we started to promote Heart in the Fight. And
Mhm.
we're kind
Yeah.
of like everybody was kind of like filling us out. We're trying to like promote ourselves.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just remember it being hot and then like just grimy, like everybody's just dogging you, just staring, like
Yeah.
sizing
Yeah.
everybody up. Just like the amount of like testosterone in that area was
Yeah.
crazy.
And that's what it's like on the amateur circuit. So I know you guys both fought on the amateur circuit. I did Muay Thai on the amateur circuit, and that's what it's like on there. Like it's just testosterone filled. Everybody signing each other up and mad dogging everybody. You know what I mean? Like team versus team. Everybody's bitching at everybody. And that's one of the things I love about Street Beefs West Coast so much is that like there's none of that. We have almost none of that. Like there's a couple guys here and there, but they mellow out eventually. They come to a few events. They realize it's not that serious, and we all just want to fight somebody. You know what I mean?
Oh
So
yeah.
they ain't got to be mad at anybody. You can just hop in there and just do it. You know? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good times. I love that shit. So
No, yeah, and
um,
also they bring their families too, and I love that too.
yeah, the kids. I mean, my house was full of kids this event. I got what 10 kids in there running around. And only two of them was mine. So yeah, I know the rest was probably juniors, bro. He got like 12 kids, bro. Okay. Okay. All right. On that note, gentlemen, y'all got any socials or anything you want to plug? Pixie Dust. That's yeah. Tell them what that is. Plug anything you want to before we pop on out of here.
Yeah, man. I mean, shit. Basically, just hey, if you're in the West Side, go to a Sweet Science Boxing Gym, baby. And
Sweet Science Boxing.
I'll put you on a Pixie Dust. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and we kind of asked this. Heather, how you say her last name? Michaelis. Heather Michaelis. Not sure if this was asked, but is there anyone specific you have in mind to fight next?
I mean, anybody that's available in August.
Fuck yeah, I love it.
In
Daniel, let's
August,
get
so
to let's get to work, buddy.
Daniel's been telling me there's a lot of East Coast fighters that are going to be coming. So, I mean, it's a little more exciting when you got someone flying to you to catch a fade. So,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, and we do have that. Like right now, we got Venom Black coming. Him and 619 are gonna fight. That's a big fight. So when we flew out there to Virginia 3-4 years ago, whenever it was, Venom Black beat the shit out of 619, and then 619 came back and he went on a massive win streak. You know what I mean?
Oh
Besides
yeah,
Hatak, and
I
now
think
now they're gonna rematch.
619, I believe, reached out to my or something like that, and said something about he wanted to go to San Diego to have some sparring sessions with
yeah.
Hamza
Daniel's telling
Jam.
me 619 invited me to do some sparring, some training over in San Diego.
Hmm.
So,
Do it.
I'm gonna check that
Absolutely do
out.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah. Do it.
exciting. Yeah.
Do it. Like 619, he's cold. He really is. He's
Oh
he's
yeah.
nice. He's nice with the hands.
Oh
And then
yeah.
we
Yeah.
got King Madness coming out, and we got Hitman Hamilton coming out. So yeah, we got King Mad is matched up with WA. So if you don't know, that's Wade, old man Wade. They're in a boxing match, and then Hitman Hamilton and I are matched up. So it's gonna be a dope ass event, and Scarface will be at the August event. Almost forgot that shit.
Ooh.
So Face, everybody knows who's the creator of Street Beefs. So yeah, he's gonna be out there. I don't know if he's bringing anybody. Dan, you know if he's bringing his son? What's his son's name? Nate, maybe. He's got I don't know how many kids he's got. He's got a few kids, but all of them throw hands. So they'll bring people out. But yeah, socials. Anybody want to drop anything?
_ L dot Monty _ Instagram. That's pretty much it. Follow
Okay.
me there.
Dope. Yeah. And I'll hit you up later. I'm gonna get that because when we start dropping promos, I'll tag you and everything. So yeah, appreciate everybody tuning in. You can find the AZ Hotbox IG, and then SBWC Street Beast West Coast Wedo for Instagram. So that's the AZ Hotbox Instagram's got all the information for the future events and all that stuff. So if anybody wants to get into a cage, hit me up. I appreciate you guys tuning in, man. Thanks, gentlemen.
Appreciate you, brother. Thank you, man.
All right.
Yes, sir. All right. Appreciate everybody tuning in. I will be back Sunday. Sunday, we've got Samk and we've got Scorpio. So they're going to run through the event. We wanted to do a recap tonight with somebody who's making their debut. And now we're going to do a little bit of a recap on Sunday night with Samk and Scorpio, two OGs who've been around for several years. So you guys have a great night, man. And yeah.